Somebody is blind, it is hard to get a real idea of how to explain to them what something looks like. There are four main aspects of sight: light, shapes, texture, and color. There are different resources from which light comes from. The first one is sunlight, and it feels very warm. When you are outside, even in the winter months, you can tell the difference between being in the shade and being in the sun. At night, there are the moon and the stars. When you think of stars, think of when it rains outside. The rain is like the twinkling of stars. It isn't warm at all. Unlike the sun, the heat from the stars is too far away for us to feel. The moon simply absorbs the light that the sun puts out and shines it onto the earth at night. Because it is only absorbed, it doesn't give off heat either. There is electrical light that is put off by man-made technology, and it can sometimes give off heat. It depends on how long the light has been on. Shapes are everywhere, but how do we describe shapes to those who cannot see? We must help them feel the shapes to understand their existence. Take your hand, either one, and rub your arm from elbow to wrist. This is a straight line, or pretty close. Straight lines make up many of the other shapes in the world. You can have straight hair, straight roads, and straight measuring rulers. The list goes on. But the straight line is very important. Take your finger and follow the outline of your eyes. This is not a perfect circle, but very close. The shape of your eyes can give you an idea of what a circle looks like. The sun is a circle. Most planet and space are circles. Water droplets from the rain are often circular in shape. The list goes on and on. So now you have an idea of what a straight line is. That line can be connected to other lines that are going up or down or left or right to make up more shapes. The connected lines can be of the same size or different sizes: big, small, short, long, etc. The circle can be cut into different parts. If we cut a circle into half, it is called a semicircle. And so many objects are semicircles. Semicircles can be the shape of the moon on many nights or the sun during sundown. A full circle is maybe the shape of your head or the shape of an orange. Although there are so many shapes in the world, the line and circle are basic shapes that may help you understand how shapes define the world we see. Texture is a big aspect of seeing. Not only is texture something you can feel, but also something that you can see. When you see texture, it gives you an idea of how it will feel before you touch it. When you look at gravel, you can see its uneven edges and pointy ends that help you to know it will be pokey if you walk on it. When you feel sandpaper, you feel that it is gritty, but when you can see it, you can see every individual particle that makes up the grit. Something that is completely flat, without dips and bumps, has the texture of smooth. It isn't necessary to have sight in order to understand textures, but when you can see texture, it helps to protect you from textures that might be harmful or unsafe. Perceiving color requires the stimulation of photoreceptors in the eye. Photoreceptors detect photons, which are units of visible light. Light exists in a spectrum, and the light that is in the visible light range of the spectrum is detectable by the human eye. There are two kinds of photoreceptors in the human eye: rods and cones. There are more than 100 million rods located around the periphery of the eye. Rods are responsible for detecting the slightest amount of light, so that people have some vision in the dark. Rods do not, however, distinguish color at all. Rods are only active in dim lighting because of how extremely sensitive they are. Rods give people black and white vision. Cones are less numerous than rods, with only about 6 million, and are located in the middle of the eye. Cones exist in three forms: red, green, and blue. Each type of cone is specialized to detect certain wavelengths of light. Because different colors emit different wavelengths, color is detected by the intensity of the stimulation of each cone. A red cone that is strongly stimulated, combined with a mildly stimulated blue cone, and a nearly non-affected green cone, will produce a purple-like color, because red and blue were combined. The combinations of stimulations on the cones provide people with color vision. When all of the cones are stimulated, the color white is perceived because it combines all of the wavelengths. Just as you can eat foods with varying degrees of flavor, so can there be varying degrees of color. For example, a pizza may have a slightly garlic aftertaste or a strong garlic flavor. It is similar with colors in that something can be dull or bright, slight flavor, strong flavor. The determining factor of which intensity is perceived relies on the wavelengths of light that stimulate the cone photoreceptors in the eye. Being able to see in color is a wonderful thing because color tells us many things about ourselves and our world. The color of a person's skin can indicate when a person is ill, and the color of many fruits indicate if it is poisonous or safe to eat. The color of the sky can indicate the weather and help people prepare for it. Colors give vibrancy to life. Wearing clothes that are bright colored often indicates festivities and a good mood. People can wear dark colors to express grief or an upset mood. Colors are also used to distinguish warning signs from welcome signs and so forth. Not having sight may be a limitation, but there are many ways to see other than with the eyes. Those without eyesight have heightened senses in either hearing or another sense. But with the aid of those of us that can see, we can help them realize what the world may look like through their eyes by descriptive ideas and discussions.